Hi everyone, welcome back to Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with a match preview for Newcastle United's upcoming game this Easter Saturday, 12:30 kickoff early doors against West Ham at St James's Park. Now, normally I'd be quite confident with this fixture because we've actually got a good record against the Hammers, but the way this season's been going, all bets are off. Really, we're going to get stuck right into this in a minute. Just before we do, a little reminder to everybody, as we always say, if you haven't already, smash subscribe. We'd love you to come and join us. We are closing in on 7,000 subs. We're into the last 100. So we've got loads and loads of room for more subscribers. Smash that button. Come and join us. We'd love to have you on board. Recommend us to family and friends. We've had loads of new subs over the last few weeks, so we really appreciate all the love. It's all free content, Evermore, but if you do want to give back the channel and support us, there is a membership option down there for a very reasonable fee monthly. Smash that button. You get early access to videos and giveaway goodies, etc., etc. So let's get stuck in then. So we've been away for 2 weeks on a warm weather break. A lot of the players have. Some of the players have been on international duty. We've seen Anthony Gordon play really well for England. He started one game, came off the bench another. Bruno Guimaraes played for Brazil, was brilliant at Wembley. Didn't catch the game, to be fair, but he was good at Wembley. So yeah, and unscathed as well. Isak has played for Sweden unscathed. So thankfully, we're being all right. But it wouldn't be Newcastle United. It wasn't more bad news on the horizon. Coming off the back of Sven Botman's injury, a season-ending injury, and into next season, by the way. Centre-half for shopping list this summer, anybody? Yes, please. So he's done his Achilles. Still can't believe they didn't diagnose the first Achilles problem right. So he's done another Achilles problem. So Botman is done. And to top it all off, Louis Miley, who have all been screaming at the start of the show, Longstaff, who's getting injections in his ankle because he can't even run, is done his back in. So he's going to be out until May as well. It rains and fucking pours at Newcastle United. That is for damn sure this season. I'm pretty sure that Eddie Howe or Jason Tyndall has pissed off a witch doctor somewhere on one of their pre-season tours, and they have cursed this club for the entire season because it seems to be that way. So we're going to have to make do with what we've got. And that's pretty much the lineup that we've gone for here with the team. Some changes, as you can see. Now, I'm not sure Eddie will do these changes, but I really hope that he does. Looking at the back straight away, your eyes will be drawn to the left-back position. The invisible man, Lewis Hall, that's right, we've put him in. Now, there is rumours that Eddie apparently has been really impressed with Lewis Hall's defensive capabilities when he came off the bench against City in the Cup. He looked really good. He looked comfortable on the ball. He got forward, but he also looked quite assured defensively as well and kept shape really well. So Eddie seems to be impressed with what he's taken on board. He must have been doing it in training as well. And he sounds like he might give him some more minutes. Lewis has been playing for the under-21 or the elite squad, as they called it, where Louis Miley done his back in. And he's been brilliant in the two games that they've played through the break. And I think he had 2 assists to his name in the last game as well. Then he was great in the first game. Then when they battered Poland 5-1 away, I think. And yeah, he deserves a chance at left back. You know, he's got pace, wand of a left peg. You know, and if he sorted out his defensive naivety, he could be fantastic in that left back position towards the end of the season. Now, we've gone for Burns stepping into centre half. Some of you might think, what the hell are you smoking, Chris? But hear me out. You know, BB before Botman, it was Cher and it was Dan Burn as centre half parents, and they were decent. They were good. One left foot, one right foot. Nice balance in the back four. I'm not sure that Eddie will do that though. I think he might go for Lascelles, Cher over at left side centre back, and then Dan Burn at left wing back again against potentially, you know, Jared Bowen and Mohamed Kudus, who is an injury doubt for this game. I think he hurt his shoulder in national duty, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's patched up and he plays. Now that worries me. Dan Burn against pace again, movement, trickery, you know, ability to finish. It really concerns me. That side will be targeted if we put Dan Burn there. If Lewis Hall's there with a bit of pace, you know, he's going to drag either Bowen or Kudus the other way to defend because he can attack. And that's the kind of style that I want to see us play. And I really hope Eddie does that and is brave and has a go at that. We'll put Tino Livramento in at right back, even though he's an injury out with this ankle problem. I really hope that Tino can get patched up and play because Trippier's a doubt for this game. I can't see Trippier being back in the squad. If he is, he's on the bench at best. But if he's in the squad, he probably starts knowing Trippier. But if Trippier is going to be injured and struggle to make, you know, all of these 10 games, we'll have to have Tino fit and fire. And he's so key to that back four for us defensively and for going forward as well with his pace. We saw that with the goal that he scored at St James's Park, his first goal against Wolves. He was absolutely brilliant in that move. And we need Tino back in this squad. Obviously, Dubravka back in the sticks after conceding the quickest international goal of all time. Sorry, Martin, because we've got no other choice, pretty much. So the midfield three, we've brought Elliot Anderson to the start. I know he'll probably play Longstaff, will Eddie, even though he can barely move. All these injections in his ankles. Maybe these 2 weeks in the sun has allowed Shaw Longstaff to rest his foot by the pool in an ice pack potentially. And he might have more mobility at St James's Park on Saturday. Who knows? But I think Elliot Anderson has looked sharp since he's come back into the team. I know he's found his way back to fitness from bad back injury, ironically enough. I hope Louis Miley's isn't as bad as Elliot Anderson's. But he's looked sharp, he's looked dangerous, aggressive as well, can get forward. And I think that's something that we really need in this midfield three. West Ham are going to be without Alisson Alvarez, the defensive midfielder from Ajax, another player we were linked with that we didn't get. And he really shows up there midfield. Paqueta's a very good player as well in there. He gets in the mix. He puts a foot in. We saw that against England. He fouled Jude Bellingham how many times? But without Alvarez in there, I think they're going to have a bit of a hole. Calvin Phillips will probably come in and play there. He's had a shocker since he's gone to West Ham. I was screaming for us to sign him in January, but thank God we didn't, because he looks absolutely minging in a West Ham shirt. Maybe it's the team setup. I don't know. Maybe if he came to Newcastle, he would look better. But the last game that they played, which I think was a draw against Aston Villa on the 17th of March, we had Alvarez and Soucek in midfield. So obviously without Alvarez, it's probably going to be Calvin Phillips that steps in. But I really think with Willock's legs and Anderson's legs and Bruno's ability to find that ball through the lines and their ability to make forward runs, we could really be a threat for West Ham with this midfield three. And I hope that Eddie does go for it. But I have a real sneaky suspicion we'll see Sean Longstaff once again, regardless of whatever form he's in. Love Sean to bits, top lad, works his nuts off for the team, but he's clearly carrying a knock and needs a rest, Eddie. So just give the lad a rest, for fuck's sake. So the front three kind of picks itself. Gordon, who's been brilliant, I think, for England. He's really showed that he's worth something to that England squad. And I think he'll be in the next squad as well. And if he keeps playing the way he is this season, I think he'll be on that plane, for the European Championships over in Germany. And that'll be brilliant to see flash over there on the world stage. And, rightly so. He's been brilliant for Newcastle. He was brilliant for the under-21s last season. And that shows you the progress in international football. And that's how it should be, Southgate. Not picking somebody just because you like him and he's shit and off form. So well done, Anthony Gordon. I hope he brings that form into this game, because he's a key player for us. If we're going to get anything out of this fixture, he has to be on form. He really, really does. I mean, looking at that West Ham back line, he's got the pace to get him behind the likes of Suma, Emerson, Kufal as well. He's got that ability, Gordon, to beat anybody in a foot race, and he could really cause them some trouble at the back there. Alexander Isak through the middle, play for Sweden, come through and scale. More minutes in his legs for Alex as well, which is always going to be helpful for him. Should come back in Newcastle in a better shape, in terms of match fitness and sharpness. And if Isak's at it, Isak could win this game for us on his own. He really could. Those three players in Bruno, Isak and Gordon, if they're bang at it, they could win this game for Newcastle United. There's no doubt about it. West Ham are a good side. I'll get into what I think the result's going to be in a minute. But if our three top players are bang at it, we could win this game, especially at home in front of that brilliant crowd as well. We've got Jacob Murphy on the other side there as well, the right-hand side, who I think has looked really good as well in the last few games that he's played. So this is going to be a tricky one, because I think West Ham are a really good team. I think in the likes of Jared Bowen, Kudus and Paqueta, they've got a fantastic team. They really, really have. I mean, up front, they're a little bit up and down. I mean, Antonio's not the force that he once was, but he's a big handful of a lad. He can get stuck in, he can hold the ball up, allow those three to make runs off of him as well. And he can be a real danger, can Antonio as well. And certainly if the back four is a little bit rusty. But I think that's why Dan Burn at left centre back, beg your pardon, would be a good choice, because he'd get right into Antonio, because that's the kind of game Burn likes, right up close, physical battles. Antonio's not going to win much in the air against Dan Burn. So I would slip him inside in the centre half and let Lewis Hall be on the left-hand side and give Jared Bowen, or Kudus, a problem up at the other end of the park as well. Because that imagine Gordon and Hall running at them down the left-hand side would scare the shit out of them. And then Tino and Murphy on the other side, they'll be spending most of the time defending in the wide positions. And I think that's a real good tactic for Eddie to adapt. And I really hope that he does it. But again, I'm not sure that he will, to be fair. But yeah, this is not going to be an easy game for Newcastle United at all, because I think for me, looking at the table, I think where West Ham sit now in terms of the Premier League table against us. So just having a quick look now, and we're all fighting for that kind of seventh position. Yeah, West Ham are currently in the seventh position. And, they've won 2 of the last 5 games. We're sitting in 10th, and we've won 2 of our last 5 games. But West Ham have only lost 1, and obviously we've lost 2 during that process as well. So in terms of points, we're only 4 points off them, in 10th position. But I'm really, what's the right word? I'm trying to be pragmatic here and just trying to be honest that these 10 games are going to be real tough games for Newcastle United. But we'll have to win the home games. They're so paramount. They're so key. Me and Mark did our predictor on this one. And I think I had us finishing, I think it was ninth, and Marquez finishing eighth. So eighth was the conference. Depending on when things go in terms of City winning things. And ninth was obviously no Europe. Now, I'm going to stand by my predicted scores as the weeks kind of went on. And I think this game, although we've got a brilliant record against West Ham, I'll cover that in a minute now. So, in the last kind of 24 games at St James's Park, we won 11 and they've only won 5. There's been 8 draws. I think this is going to be draw number 9. I really do. I don't think that either team's going to have enough to win this game. I just think that, lacking the players that we lack, although we've got some pace and some vigor, and then maybe 2 weeks rest would have helped a lot of these players. I think the injuries to Botman and Miley are massive for us. They really are. Some of the best players out there have all played at national football in terms of Bruno, Gordon, and Isak. And although it might work in Isak's favour to get those minutes back in his legs and that fitness back, Gordon and Bruno might be a little bit fatigued. All that travelling that Bruno's done and stuff as well. Yes, I know he played in England, but then he went obviously played elsewhere, didn't he? So yeah, it's a little bit concerning, I think, in terms of the fixture. We normally have a good record against West Ham. Weirdly enough, if Callum Wilson was on the bench, I think we'd fancy your chances to win 2-1 because he always scores against West Ham. But Wilson is out for pretty much the entire season. I don't think we'll see Wilson in a black and white shirt again. I think that's him done. I think he'll be gone in the summer. So that'll be the end of Callum Wilson. I think there's so many players missing in this game that could make an impact, like Joe Linton, like Sandro Tonali, like Nick Pope. And then obviously Miley and Botman as well to throw into the mix, and it's just a nightmare of a season. It really, really is, Even Matty Target's out with a hamstring injury now. Harvey Barnes, he's touch and go for this game. He might make the bench, but to be fair to Harvey Barnes, he comes back, he shows glimpses, and he's fucking knackered again. So it's just a horrendous season for Harvey Barnes. I really want him to stay fit and be the player that we all want him to be. But, he's had a honking season for fitness when he cast out. Probably the worst injury hit season he's ever had, sadly for him, at his new club. And, a lot of people might make decisions on that player, maybe unfairly. I think there's a real player in there, and I'm willing to give Barnes a chance for next season. But I think this season, if he can get fit and make an impact his last 10 games, great. But the worrying thing for Barnes is he's just going to get another injury and be out again. And if he has one more injury, his season's done, isn't it? But I don't want to be too negative about this. I think as long as we've seen improved performance in this, I think Newcastle have got enough in that team to win this game. I really do, to win it 2-1. But that's what my heart says. But my head says 1-1. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. The head is overruling the heart in this occasion. And I think this will be a 1-1 draw. So let us know what you guys think in the comments below about our lineup, about how you think the game is going to go. We always like to hear from you. As I mentioned at the start, smash subscribe, come and join us. We're so close to 7,000 subs. So you can recommend us to family and friends, help us get there. We've got a great prize for the 7,000 subscriber giveaway. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel for that as well. Keep supporting us, guys. We always appreciate it. Like the video, help the channel grow. I'm going to be back with a post-match reaction to this game. And I hope I'm telling you I'm wrong and we've got the 3 points. But my gut feeling is a point. So have a cracking day wherever everybody. Oh, and if you're traveling to the game, just be careful because there's metro nightmares going on as well. I think there's a big delay between Gosforth and somewhere else, Heworth or something like that. So yeah, just make sure you check your travel plans before you go, guys. Don't leave yourself short. It's an early kickoff. Make sure you get there. Plenty of time to spare. Maybe time for a pint before you get into the ground as well. Have a cracking day wherever you are, everybody, and we'll see you later. Cheers.